Okay, hello guys. I don't have a ton of time to film this. Cam's in the middle of redecorating our home because that's what he felt like doing. I realized that I haven't filmed a book haul in 3 months. I knew I had posted one in August, okay? I knew I had posted one in August, and so I thought, oh, I probably have a couple books from August that I need to do, and then I'll just do the small amount I got in September and the kind of a lot I got in October because it was my birthday. No. I got a lot in August, and I didn't film any of it because the book haul from August was supposed to be posted at the beginning of August for all my July books, June, July books. So I have quite a few books to go through. I have them put into genres because that's my favorite way to categorize things. Without further ado, let's just jump into it because there's a lot. So, first one I have here has been on my list for a while. I've read it. The Tea Dragon Society. This is a cute little children's graphic novel series. I own the third one, Tea Dragon Tapestry. I don't yet own the second one, but I saw this on Pango Books and as a hardcover, which is very hard to find nowadays for some reason. And so I picked it up. It's very small, and it just talks about these little dragons that help make tea. It's a very cozy book, and the girl wrote me a little note too, which was very sweet of her. So I'm glad I have that in my collection. Another one, probably one of my favorite ones that I picked up since I've done a book haul for you guys. Wait for it, wait for it. Wait. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive signed edition. I didn't realize, I forgot until I literally just saw it, of the third Heartstopper book. I own the second one. I don't think my second one is signed. Are they all signed? I don't know. But this is the third one. One of my favorite series. So freaking cute. About Nick and Charlie. I love them. I'm sure you guys have all heard me talk about it, heard other people talk about it, but glad to have that. And then the next book, since we're just kind of quickly going through all of them, Beetle and the Hollow Bones by Eliza Lane. I will be talking about this more in my October wrap up, so stay tuned for that. But basically it's just like a story about friendship. This goblin and Blob Ghost is the name of the friend, and the goblin's gonna help Blob Ghost out because Blob Ghost is stuck within the mall and can't get out, and the mall is gonna be torn down. So, story of friendship, like I said, it was pretty cute. It was okay. Another series I am so excited about, which if you would have seen my last reading vlog, you know. I have Sheets, Delicates, and Lights by Brenna Thumler. I have read the first two. Haven't quite yet read Lights, but I'm hoping to get to it this weekend before October is done. Sheets was a 4-star read, pretty cute. Delicates is 5 stars, 10 out of 10. I would recommend. It's so freaking good. I sobbed my eyes out, hence the reading vlog. I will have linked up above. I would recommend this series just for this one alone, and I haven't even yet read the third one. So this one we're following Marjorie, and her mom has died, and there is a ghost named Wendell, and the ghosts look like little sheets over their head, and it's a story about grief and growing up. This one follows a lot of bullying and trigger warning for suicide, but they're middle grade books. I think they're done very well. They're very cute. They're here's like inside, very fall, good books for fall. And also the spines look so cute together, so cute. If I made a graphic novel series or any book series, I'd pick colors like that, quite honestly. One of my most anticipated books of the year, which I didn't even know was most anticipated because I hadn't yet read Icebreaker but I have now, and it is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is the second book to Icebreaker. I will be talking more about this in my October wrap-up as well, but spoilers, also 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. I would highly recommend. This one follows a summer camp romance. These two like had a one-night stand before going to camp, and then they show up at camp as camp counselors, and the campers are not, or the like guidance counselors are not supposed to fraternising. I don't know. Either way, they're not supposed to like hang out or be a thing, and they end up falling for each other. So there's that. Very, very cute. Up next, a book I have not yet gotten to, Begin Again by Emma Lord. I got this in the 50% off hardcovers at Barnes & Noble. Look at that. They like sliced my... I ordered online, so I guess that's partially my own fault. But online had a lot of more books than my actual store did. And they sent me this, and I just was too lazy to ask for a replacement, especially because it was 50% off. So I don't really care. But this one I think is following college kids. I think it's like new adult community college. And Begin Again is a Taylor Swift song, so I think Emma Lord might be a Swiftie. I'll have to see. Haven't quite yet read it, like I said. Next, actually all these romance books that are coming up I haven't quite yet read. This one had a little sticker in there. I forgot about that. For my birthday, I went to a couple local bookshops and picked up quite a few books. And the bookseller at one of the bookstores came up to me and was like, "Oh my gosh, can I give you a book recommendation?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And the first thing she ended up recommending, I'll talk about this one first actually, was the Twisted series. And I was like, "Oh girl, I've already read 3 out of the 4. This is Twisted Lies is the 4th one." And then she jumped over to the Brown Sisters, and I said, "Oh, I've already read that too." And she was like, "Okay, what about Honey and Spice?" And I said, "No, I haven't, but I've seen it." And so she recommended me that. So I'm excited to get to this one. I'm excited for both of these. This one is just so freaking big. The Twisted series, in this one, we are following a like billionaire and a influencer girl fake dating. I did start it, but it's so thick. I just didn't feel like I was in the mood for it after having like speed read the first 3 books. So after we start that one, I decided to pick it up again. Oh, also, do you guys like my So Many Books, So Little Time, Death by TBR shirt? My fiance's sister got it for me for my birthday. I think it's really cute. Anyway, and then like I said, she at the bookstore had recommended Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. This is following also people in college. This one's spicy. I don't think that other one's spicy because I think that might actually be a YA, the Begin Again book. Twisted Lies is definitely an adult book, I could tell you that. But Honey and Spice is an adult romance following these two that are also fake dating, and there is, I don't know if there's actually a podcast element, but the main character does have a podcast from what I remember her telling me. So that's that one. And then the last of the romances, I actually picked up Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Have I read the fine print? No. Have I read this one? Definitely no, if I haven't read the fine print. But that's okay. I just know that this series is following amusement park billionaires. So I've heard it's really good. I've heard some people don't super like the first one, and the second one is more where it's at. So we'll see when I get to it. Shit, this one's kind of thick too. I don't know what is up with all these thick romances. I don't think they need to be that big, but whatever. Moving on to my I think the only 2 nonfictions I have here, which I have read both of, and I will be talking about both in my October wrap-up, so I won't go into too much detail, but It Came from the Closet, edited by Joe Valise. This is queer reflections on horrors, a bunch of essays. They talk about different horror movies and how it relates to the queer author's life. Some of them go into actual details about the movies and how the movies could be seen as queer. Other ones didn't do it as much, but pretty good read. And then In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This I read in one day. It was very, very quick read. The audiobook's only like 5 hours, which is pretty, I guess the pages, if the pages look like that. This one is a memoir written kind of differently than a typical memoir, following Carmen's abusive relationship with a woman. Queer and gay relationships don't get talked about, like the negative abusive side, as much. Not that they're all super abusive, but you guys, you know what I'm saying. Usually when we talk about like DV, we're talking about like a straight relationship, but it could definitely happen in gay relationships as well. So I think it was done pretty good. A lot of the reviews didn't really like this and said that she was kind of whiny, but I thought it was a good book. And also, I don't think you could be whiny about literally being abused and telling your story. So that's my opinion. The only contemporary type book I have on here is This Winter by Alice Oseman. This is a short novella following the Heartstopper family. I think it's Charlie's family. Do you mind, honey? He doesn't mind. Do you mind, Cam? This one is like over winter break following Charlie's family. I don't need to know it much more than that, besides the fact that Alice Oseman wrote it and Nick and Charlie are going to be in it. So, okay. Moving on to like the fantasy books here. I have an anticipated release, but I did start it and I didn't. She's still going. This was an anticipated release and I started and I didn't super like it, so we'll see. It's Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I know, she's one of my favorite authors. This is her first adult book and I don't know, it's just not really clicking with me. I don't know, so hopefully when I do actually get to this, it's better than what I think it might be right now. Moving on to a book I did not really like either because I DNF'd it last month. Benko by Sherry Demeline. This one, I talked about it in my September wrap up. I can have it linked up above. I got like 20% in. I felt like nothing had happened. And then there was like a really gross scene with the most like over the top villainous character you could ever think of. And it was just really gross to me. And then I read like a chapter or two after that and I said, I don't really want to read this. I don't care. So consider this a book haul and unhaul for this guy. Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. This one is following like a school. I think this is honestly probably one of his only standalone type of books, and it was in the 50% off Barnes & Noble, hence why I picked it up. In a Race Against Deadly Enemies. Okay, rude. Okay, rude. In A Race Against Deadly Enemies, Anna will make amazing friends and astounding discoveries about her heritage as she puts her leadership skills to the test for the first time. So, that's all. I've said this before, but I'm not as picky about my middle grade books because I could just give it to my fiance's mom, who is like a 5th grade teacher. So, if I don't like it, she can have it. It'd be a really good addition to her classroom. So, speaking of, I also picked up Minerva Keen's Detective Club, which I talked about in September as well, but I already got rid of it because I knew I wasn't going to keep it, and I saw Cam's family this weekend, or for my birthday, and so I gave her the book then. So I don't have that one, but consider that haul and unhaul in one as well. Next, another one I picked up on my birthday is The Book Wanderers by Anna James. Pages & Co., The Book Wanderers, this is book 1. I have heard, I think Gavin talk about this book a number of times and how good it is. So when I saw it at one of the bookstores, I said, you're coming home with me. This one is following Tilly Pages, who works at her grandparents' bookstore after her mom has disappeared, and characters from her favorite books start showing up and she can like go into the books and stuff. So there's that. Another, well, I guess 2 books that I picked up at the 50% off hardcovers. Let's see. This Foul Murder and A Foul Thing. These are related to, by Chloe Gong. These are following characters from, what's it called? These Violent Delights. Oh, and surrounding events in Foul Lady Fortune, which I have not yet read, so these are going on the back burner until then. I have read both These Violent Delights and, These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends or whatever, but it wasn't a favorite. So I'm hoping to like her other books a bit more. Speaking of a person that I do really like, Michelle Harrison, A Pinch of Magic. I actually already have this series. My second, third, and fourth copy match this one, and then my first one didn't match this copy, so I have 2 copies of this one. But I saw it on Pango Books for like $5, I think, and I just really wanted all of my books to match, so I thought it'd be really cute. I'm not going to be getting rid of my other copy because it is like annotated and stuff, and it was from the first time I ever read it, but now I have this one to match. And then also by Michelle Harrison to match that copy of the series, I have 13 Treasures, 13 Curses, and 13 Secrets by Michelle Harrison. This one is another middle grade fantasy following like this girl who can see fairies, and her mom sends her to live with her grandmother at a secluded countryside mansion on the outskirts of town, and there's like a mystery. So this sounds very fun and exciting. I'm hoping to at least get to the first one while it's still fall. We'll see about the other 2. We'll see how much I really liked it. But one seller was selling all 3 of these books, so I thought might as well just buy all of them there. Moving on to a book I am excited about. I have my fingers crossed about it. Shadow Coven by S. Isabel. This is the second book to The Witchery. Yeah. Which I read last year. Oh, the glare on this is really bad. The Witchery I did restart like 3 times because I just couldn't get into it, but I was really excited about it, and so I wanted to push through. Ended up giving it 4 stars. I think 4 stars. But I am excited for this one. This one just follows like a coven of girls at college. Are they at college? I think they're at college. I don't even know. I'm definitely gonna have to read up though, because the first one, when I read the first one, they had no announcement for a second book, and I was under the impression that there wouldn't be a second book, and so I just kind of was saying like, oh, as a standalone, this is good. But something happens at the end of the first book related to like a new witch, and so I'm sure that's going to come into play in this one, and I'm excited to see how she does it. And then the last of the fantasy here is Blood Debts by Terry J. Benton Walker. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this. Honestly, don't even really know what it's about, but I think the cover is stunning. Look at that. I know these 2 are twins in, what's that town called? New Orleans. Yeah. And their mom is sick and their dad has died, and then they find out their mom was actually cursed, like magically. So there's like some sort of magical witchiness going on in here. We'll see, because I don't usually like YA fantasy, but this sounds like it could be the exception. And I'm pretty sure it is LGBT. So now we just have the mystery thriller horror section to get to. Sorry, I'm like speed running this thing because otherwise it would take so long to talk about all of these books. So one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year that I did know about at the beginning of the year, and it made me sob literally so hard I couldn't catch my breath. The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. I was gonna say, I have a tab in there, just one tab, and if you guys have read it, you know what the tab is. It's for sobbing. It's for sobbing. It was so good. I'll definitely talk about it more in my October wrap up But if you haven't read the Thursday Murder Club series, I would highly recommend, especially if you're a mystery, cozy mystery girly. This one we're following 4 elderly characters, and you just really get to know all of them. Each book follows a different mystery. It's just so good. The series is so good, and you get really attached to all the characters, and then you cry your eyes out. So there's that. And then another book, actually the next few books I've read, good for me. This one is Cold Clay by Juno Black. This is the second book in the Shady Hollow series. I read this a couple months ago, but when I did, I didn't own it yet. And then when I went to the store one day, I saw it was there, and I was like, oh, I'll buy it since I bought the first and third book anyway. So this one is basically Zootopia, but like adult murder mystery related. So highly recommend. Also, I think the audiobooks are pretty good too. So next I have the Fairfleet Affair by K.H. Saxton. This is following 2 kids who set up their own detective agency, and then a very prominent figure in their town goes missing. He like runs the museum, and so these 2 are gonna help figure out what happened to him, and he like left clues behind, all this stuff, and so they are helping figure out about the disappearance. I will talk about this in my October wrap-up as well. Next is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I got this from Book of the Month. This was my birthday pick, so it was free because I'm a best friend. I finished this yesterday, and I don't really know how I feel about it. I think it's a very good, addicting book about this. There's these 2 ladies. They were born on the same day at the same place. It's their 45th birthday, and they run into each other. One of them does a podcast on like very like women who turn their life around and now are like super successful, and the other main character is like, hey, would you want to do a podcast on someone who's about to turn their life around? So they end up doing that. There's like a podcast element, there's like a Netflix manuscript type aspect of it, and then following both of the women's perspectives, not their perspectives, but like their perspective in the third person, I think. Yeah. But yeah, this one read in one day, very addicting read. It did its job as being a thriller. The ending, I'm torn about. Next, my other book of the month pick, When I'm Dead by Hannah Morrissey. I literally don't know anything about this except it's like a thriller, and it sounded pretty good. One girl murdered, another one missing, a medical examiner desperately searching for the truth in the latest Black Harbor mystery. Yeah, I didn't know this is the 3rd book in this series until I'd already gotten it. And I swear to God, Book of the Month did not say that it was the 3rd book. I'm hoping you don't have to read the other 2 books, because I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I want to do that, but yeah, we'll see. All I know, it's like a mystery thriller. Really good at explaining what the books are about, aren't I? We're almost done though. Next is a middle grade, Ravenfall by Kaylin Josephson. This one, I know there's like these 2 kids at an Airbnb, a magical Airbnb, and one of the kids the girl, her family owns it, I think this girl, her family owns the Airbnb. This guy shows up, his brother and family are like missing or something, and they have to do something before Halloween night. That's all I really know. A creature. If Anna and Colin can't stop the creature by Halloween night, the veil to the other world could be torn open, which would spell destruction for their world as they know it. It's like a pretty short middle grade book. So I was hoping to get to that, but I probably won't get to it until November, which is disappointing, but that's fine. A book I read last month, How to Survive Your Murder by Danielle Valentine. This is a YA horror, I think, done very well. If you have read My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, very good comparison, I would say. That one is an adult book, but this is a YA book, and they're very similar. The main character last year on Halloween saw her sister like get brutally stabbed in front of her, and a year later, present day, she has to go to court and like defend who the killer is, or not defend him, but, you know, talk against him, and say like, I saw him stab her and kill her, send him to jail. But there is a podcast that's just started that allegedly, we might not know all of the details, and the main character is like very pissed off about it, but then gets sent back to a year ago before her sister died, and has to save her sister, and people start dying. So that's what this one is about. This one has a very good twist, I personally would say. So I would recommend, especially for a YA horror. I thought it was really good read. Next, a book I finished yesterday as well. There's No Way I Die First by Lisa Springer. This is another YA horror. I think this was really good. This one is very campy though. Like just so over the top, and like the kills are very over the top. In this one, our main character Noelle, she runs a horror movie club, and she wants to start a podcast, and it's Halloween. I think it's Halloween. It's either Halloween or like the end of the October season at least. And she is gonna have a little get together with the most popular people at her school, who are like really popular people, like influencers and stuff for some reason. And she invites this clown to play a game of hide and seek, and then the clown ends up being like a killer clown. So there's that. I thought it was really good. Very gory for a YA, and like very intense, but also kind of funny. So it just read like a horror movie to me. Oh, and also all of the chapters have like movie quotes and the year that the movie came out, which I thought was really good. Oh, and then same with How to Survive Your Murder. The main character in this is like obsessed with horror movies, and like, well, they kind of spoil them a little bit, but I thought that was a really nice aspect. Speaking of My Heart is a Chainsaw and horror movie homages, I have Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the second one to My Heart is a Chainsaw. I don't know a whole ton about this, except for in the first one we're following Jade, who is like obsessed with being a final girl and like thinking there's a serial killer in her town, and like no one believes her and stuff. And she's obsessed with like horror movies. In the first one, she's actually writing an essay about like how to be a final girl, I think, from what I remember. I'm gonna have to read up on it because I kind of forgot. But this is the second one, and I think it takes place like a little bit after the first one, 4 years after. So I'm gonna have to read up on the first one and then come back to this one, but I'm excited for that. And then the last book here that I have, thank you for sticking with me, everyone, The Only Good Indians, also by Stephen Graham Jones. This one we're following like 4 guys who killed like a deer or something back in the day, and now the deer's coming back to haunt them. I think that's all I really know. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Cam's doing something. Tale of Revenge, Cultural Identity, and the Cost of Breaking from Tradition, in the latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Graham Jones. I'm excited to get to this one. I'm hoping to get to it before October is done. So I know that was very brief summary, like 1-minute summary on each book, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since I have done a book haul, but it's been a while since I did a video, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me which of the books, if I haven't read them yet, what I should pick up. And thanks for watching. Over.